GoGetter family, what's good? It's your boy Gene. I'm back. It's Sunday, but I had to get a video up for you guys. We got to get the GoGetter family, all the gang. I want you guys to win. Plug my mic in. GoGetter family. I hope y'all can hear me. You got your phone?
It's upstairs.
See if I can be heard. Let me see. So I'll go to my channel.
Oh, you're gonna call?
No, I'm gonna go. I gotta see if I can be heard on live right now. I got my mic on.
Oh, okay.
Let's see if I can be heard on live right now. I got my. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay, y'all can hear the kid. So, let me. I gotta send a text message to my IT, the head of my IT, doing major things around here. We got some good stuff coming for you guys soon too. I'm actually gonna start a subscription for you guys to watch tutorial videos with insider knowledge, secrets, just nuggets of information to get you by, help you close transactions, answer a lot of the specific questions that aren't answered. They are answered, but they cost you thousands of dollars, And I've noticed, guys, that people like me, when I first started, I didn't have thousands to invest in coaching. Hold on, guys. Hey, I'm doing a live right now, man, on YouTube. Yeah, all right, go on, check out the live, man. I'm on there. Go on my YouTube channel. All right, I'll hit you back, man. We'll get it together. Yeah, peace. Okay, guys, sorry about that. So this is what we got going on. I'm gonna start a subscription for you guys too. So we're getting that set up. I got an IT guy. I hired him. Man, he's good. He's awesome, man. And I'll tell you how I got him. I was actually it's an old person I knew in high school. I knew him in high school, and we never hung out. We were complete opposites, contrasting personalities. But we had linked up on Facebook because he saw some of the posts I put up, some of the posts he put up, stuff like that. And he's a good dude, man, good person. So we went out to lunch, and turns out he was there he was able to help me, with what I need, and helped me a lot, man. He is essential. He is doing a lot for me. But it was just because, man, I treat people how I want to be treated. I encourage people, and that helps. That just helps us in life, helps our energy, helps us, helps our aura, our spirit, man, and what the universe gives back to us. So we want to treat people right, It's not that hard, guys. Treat people with respect, dignity, and some compassion. It really isn't that difficult. So what I'm talking to you guys tonight about is subject to my first subject to deal. And sorry, guys, I'm multitasking. Okay, so anyway. All right, sorry, guys. I'm done with the cell phone for now. I'm going to talk to you guys about my first subject to deal, but I'm going to bring you through the entire thing, man, from how I acquired the home, and then and how I and also how I my exit strategy on it, and how I didn't pay anything for this home, didn't go to a bank. It was glorious. I didn't go to a bank. There was no credit checks. There was no applications, no W-2s, no proofs of income, none of that stuff, because I became the bank. This is the day I became the bank, and it changed my life. changed my life forever. And I've been using subject to and the creative financing strategy ever since. So, guys, I had learned about the subject to strategy. I learned about the subject to strategy from Chris Haskins' show. And based off of that, once I learned about that strategy, because I had been doing investing prior to that, just the traditional way. And my partner was a doctor, and he couldn't get credit. They wouldn't give him credit, man, only to a certain amount and this and that. And then, you got contractors, and you got to flip, rehab, and do things the traditional way. And there's about to be a bubble, so oh man, things just aren't looking good for the traditional side of real estate investing. So I learned about subject to, where we could just take over. We take over the existing mortgage on a home. We take it over, and it stays in the seller's name. It stays on their credit. Okay. We're not personally guaranteeing the debt. So they get the debt, we get the house. Okay. And, what we do, we can buy houses. We can buy any type of property, whether it's owned outright, that's creative financing, and then one that has an existing mortgage on it. But usually it's people with no equity. They don't want to make repairs. They're going into foreclosure. They're tired landlords. They inherited a property, and it still has a mortgage on it. These are the type of properties, they're called distressed properties, that we can buy. So once I learned this strategy, excuse me, guys, I got to close this vent. It's super cold right now. I'm downstairs. Okay, so anyway, gosh, where was I at? Oh, they're called distressed properties, and there's going to be a flood of those coming soon. There's going to be a foreclosure tsunami. So foreclosures, they have a mortgage on them. So learning this process, this will get you in the game. This will get you financial freedom. This was the day that my life changed forever. I got passive income. I didn't pay a dime for the place, because what I did, my exit strategy was, I was either going to double close or I was going to lease option it and use the double closing to pay out the equity, because it was $15,000 that I gave the seller. That was the equity that they made. So, up to this point. So what I did was I started searching, man, like a warrior ready to strike, because I didn't have a bunch of money, but I knew that I had this strategy, and I knew that the money would come. So I looked on Zillow and found a for sale by owner, and the house was beautiful in a great neighborhood. They call it God's country, where I'm from. And so I contacted them, because I looked, and they had only owned the home for like a year and a half. So I'm like, man, they don't have a lot of equity. They can't, so I looked it up, did my little research, and I'll give you guys those snippets on the subscription, guys. I mean, the down and dirty details that are going to get you there. So I started looking, boom, he doesn't have any equity, because he only had the house, only owned the home for, like a year and a half. So that said, I'm like, man, why do they want to sell? There's got to be something going on, so we want to try to be the solution, right? But there's negotiating tactics and an artistry that you use that will get you there, because you have to educate people on this process. People don't understand this process, and they don't even know. They just know the traditional way, right? So the deed to the house is in my name, but the debt is not, right? So I'm out there searching. I find it, and I meet up with him, and because he's got on Zillow as for sale by owner. So I meet up with him, and guys, when I went in there, I wasn't like, I told him what I did, and he had met with a couple other people, because the house is beautiful. But he wanted, well, they were coming with the traditional way, and then another guy that does the We Buy Houses where I'm from, he called him, but he never came. He never showed up for his appointment, which is odd. So, but hey, we do business different. So I went. Now, mind you, this was my first deal, so I was a little nervous. I had bought document packets. I had got free ones, and then I put them together and made my own, and brought them to my lawyer and had him look them over, and let me know if they were good. And if they were good, because you're not going to be able to get these documents just from lawyers. They don't keep them on file. Title companies don't keep them on file. You're going to have to get them in the creative financing world, just like I did. So I was a bit nervous, but that's okay. I mean, that's like when you're getting ready for the basketball game, or a sports event, or if you're going to play a violin solo, or you've got a concert, and you may have a solo in that concert, but that you have prepared for that solo. So yeah, I was a little bit nervous, but that's okay, because I had prepared, so I was out there looking, and I found them. And when I went in, I care, and you've got to care in order to get this done and talk to your prospects and be the solution to their problem. But there's negotiating in there as well. But we do it through conversation. We negotiate through conversation, guys. You do not call when you call people. You don't call. Oh, I see your house is for sale, and how much do you want for it? Oh, have you done any upgrades? No, guys, we don't do that. We don't do that. We talk to people because people are going to want to tell you their story. It's their home. It's their home. This is most people's biggest investment that they ever make in life. So I went in there talking to him. I observed. I noticed that he has a wife. He has a kid. His wife was had one on the way, had a baby on the way. So I'm in there talking to him, and you've got to primer them. You've got to primer your prospect for the subject too. If you're reaching out to them like a cold call, you've got to primer them for the subject too. Now, if they're calling you, if they're contacting you, a warm lead as opposed to a cold lead, a warm lead, guys, they are open to what you've got to say. If it's got anything to do with creative financing, they're open to it because usually we're their last option. So I'm in there, I'm talking to him, but I'm letting him talk, and I'm asking him about, his job. Man, this is a beautiful house, so, and you've got a family, I see you got one on the way, congratulations. I congratulate him on it, talk to his little 2-year-old daughter, and then, ask him, why he wanted to move from such a beautiful house. He worked hard, was relatively young, done well. And so he tells me, and some things that went, wrong with one of his jobs. He was tired of, working the type of job that he was working. And I understand that. That's why I'm an entrepreneur, guys. Because I don't want to have somebody breathing down my neck and all that stuff. So we could relate. I was able to empathize with him immediately and establish rapport immediately, right? But the thing about this conversation and our negotiating conversation is you got to let them talk. You only talk 25% at the most out of the 100%. So 25% at the most and 75% them, because they are going to negotiate themselves down if it is done correctly, guys. But we're going to get them to a point where everybody is happy in the situation, So that said, we're talking, and I tell them, pretty much there's a beautiful house. We can get something done, but it's going to be kind of tough because of the market right now. And, I'm an investor, so I've got to have some sort of meat on the bones. I mean, guys, it's okay to let people know that you're making some money. I mean, you're an investor, people don't do things for free. So I'm like, I've got to have some meat on the bone, but there's options. We have our loan assignment program. We have our homeowner transfer program, and I'll discuss that in further videos, tutorials for you guys, the tools that we use to get us in better with the prospects, and we want to help them too. So we use different tools, guys. You've got to be creative. We're already using creative financing here, right? So you got to be creative and innovative in the other stuff. So there's things that you can do that are going to establish this credibility for you and help you close a transaction. So we have our homeowner transfer program, and that's where we do our best to get them into another residence if they need a place to go, if they don't already have something set up. Our mortgage assignment, loan assignment program, I tell them, is where we will continue to pay your loan. We'll continue to make the payments on your loan, but ideally we want to find a buyer for your house. But until then, we're just going to keep making the payments on your loan. See, what I'm doing is, guys, I'm warming them up. I'm priming them. Okay. I'm planting that seed. You got to plant seeds. You guys, you don't just slap people in the face with your demands and what you want. That is not how we do things. Go-getters. That's not how the Go-Getter family does things. You do not slap people in the face with your demands. We want people to win. We're going to win. Everybody can win in the situation. Now, you don't tell them, hey, this is a win-win situation. No, guys, we don't. No, there's an artistry. But we don't slap people in the face with our demands saying, oh, well, it's worth this much. Your after repair value is this. I'm going to have to spend this on repairs. No, I don't do that until, there comes a point where you may have to get into that. But initially, no, we don't go about business that way. Not our business. Okay. Not the Go-Getter family, and not WeBuyAndHelp.com. And you guys can get access to our WeBuyAndHelp.com website, webuyandhelp.com. I couldn't believe the domain was still available. So, I'm priming them, but I tell them I can't make an offer, guys. I've got to speak with my committee first. I just manage the company, the day-to-day, the real estate investing. I find the houses. I talk to, people, sellers, families. I talk to families. And then I go back to them. I tell them what I think, give them a little rundown of the numbers. And we come up with various solutions, though, to suit your needs, to fit your needs. We don't just come and say, hey, we're going to buy your house for this much and it's under what you want. No, this is a beautiful house. I don't see why you couldn't get what you want for it. That was a primer, guys. I'm sneaking at, that is a gem. I'm planting that seed. I don't see why you couldn't get what you want. Now we can give them what they want, but we're just not going to give them a big old chunk, and there's a way to negotiate that too. Guys, there's a way to negotiate that too. So, and it's artistry. So, I'm getting this subscription set up for you guys because, the knowledge that I can give you, it's $1 million knowledge. But the position that I was in, I couldn't spend thousands of dollars. And like, if being me mentoring you, it's worth, a couple thousand, it's worth some, 4 figures at least, right? But not everybody has that. And I understand that because I didn't, but I had questions that I wanted answered in this strategy that it was almost impossible for me to get answered unless I paid somebody a big chunk of money. And that's not cool because I want everybody to win. I do. So I'm going to set up a monthly subscription for you guys. That's super cheap, compared to, and you're going to get that inside information. That way, my time, effort, and everything isn't for free, but I'm not digging so far in your pocket that you pay for this mentoring and stuff. And now you don't have enough money to make you feel secure mentally, so that you can go out there and make these transactions. I'm not going to do that to you, go-getters. I want you guys to win. I want you guys to eat. So I'm going to set that up for you. Answer a lot of that stuff, man. Detailed tutorial videos walking you through it, the ins and outs, the intricacies, the subtleties, the things that you need to know to close a transaction. That's it. That's all. Monthly subscription. You'll get documents, videos, tutorials, all that stuff. So, and our website is up and live, but all the document packs aren't on there. I'm out here taking action, so we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it up, but I got it live because it could be live. So I wanted to be on the internet for you guys, for the Go-Getter family. So anyway, I leave because I tell them, I got to bring it to the committee. I leave. I tell him, we'll set up an appointment for tomorrow. What time's good for you? Because he's got a job now and it has, peak hours, stuff like that. So we set up for later in the afternoon. And I tell them, we always come with more than one option for people, for families, because we want you to have a choice. And that is good when you give them 2 options because they feel like they have a choice in the matter. You're not just saying, okay, here is my offer. Now, what is your counter offer? No, they got a choice. They got a choice, so they feel empowered, guys. There's a psychological aspect to this too. So I leave, and then I go over the next day, and I have a subject to offer for them. But then I have a sandwich lease option offer where you can do a sandwich lease option where I'm buying the house on lease option. So I won't have the deed in my name if I do that. Subject to, you have the deed. Lease option, you do not until you exercise that option, 3 years out, 2 years out, whatever you set it for. So one is more lucrative for the prospect than the other. Of course, the subject to is going to be a bit more lucrative because I'll have the deed. So I made him an offer. I showed him, we put this on a document too, so that they can see it. So there's a visual, maybe one day I'll give you guys that document for free. Right now in the description, there's a free document. It's the procedure plan and strategy document that runs through the whole thing of how, we got the subject to, why, a little bit about the market, and then how we buy it in a trust, and then how we the disposition of it which is a lease option on that particular one. And that's what's in this document, this free document, and the link in the bottom, guys. And guys, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. Subscribe. That way you'll get a notification when these videos come up, because I do short videos too, and there's going to be a foreclosure flood, so it's time to get to it. Stop. You don't have to pay a ton of money for all these real estate courses and stuff like that, where they're charging you just a ton of money. No, because they're just giving you superficial information, and it's not useful most times. There is some out there. I'm not going to say everyone, because that just would not be true. But guys, put in some effort, some ambition. You know, the little subscription, that's going to help you a lot, like a mentorship, but it's going to, super affordable, man, for the Go-Getter family, because I'm from the mud. I'm from the dirt, just like, a lot of people, man, the regular people in this country, so everybody will have, 30 to $50 or something a month, to get this valuable information and free docs and stuff. So anyway, I show up at 3. Now, mind you, this is my first one, so I'm a little nervous. And I've been studying negotiating. I've got my docs. I've been studying my docs. I've been going hard. I've been watching YouTube. I'm just soaking this information in, soaking it in like nonstop, just focused, laser focused. But I'm still a bit nervous because this is my first deal, and I don't have anybody that I can like call at the time to say, hey, like a mentor or something. Hey, I'm right, at the kitchen table making this sale. I need some help. I'm stuck on this spot or whatever. I didn't have that, guys. So, but that's okay. That's okay, because we're grown. We're entrepreneurs. We're going to go out and get it. And entrepreneurs, if you're an entrepreneur and you want to build something big, it falls on your shoulders and nobody else's. It falls on your shoulders and no one else's. So that's okay. We can handle the pressure because we know the work and the commitment and the sacrifice and the effort that we put in. So let's get to it. So anyway, that's how I was feeling. I'm ready. Like, man, I'm about to get a house for nothing. I'm going to own a house. I don't have to go to a bank with credit applications and put my hat in my hand, like, please, I've got a job, getting income. Here's my W-2s. My credit score is such and such. No, I don't have to do any of that. So I'm like, man, I'm going to get after it. Because I don't have to do that. I'm the bank, the Go-Getter family bank. So let's get to it. So anyway, I get hyped, man, about this because, man, it's real. It's beautiful. You can help people and you can make money and have financial freedom. And, I don't believe that it's financial freedom that everyone wants. I think that it's freedom itself that we all want. Freedom itself, right? But financial freedom is a tool to get you to freedom itself, because I'm free. Man, I'm free. I've never been to a beach in real life. And this summer for my birthday, we're going to Myrtle Beach. And then from Myrtle Beach, we're going to Puerto Rico, right? Because of subject to and creative owner financing. So anyway, I show up, I'm ready, like a soldier, warrior, ready to go. Now he knows. I tell him before I come over, I've got two options for you, 2 solutions for you. With both you come out on top. So, it's a good thing. Now what I did was on the subject too, I as part of the cost, because we do a cost to sell sheet, I put in capital gains tax, right? And I'll talk about that cost to sell, for the Go-Getter family members, for the family members. I'll talk about that. And you can become a member with that subscription. So anyway, I put the capital gains in there. So that was a little bit more, because capital gains, he hadn't owned the home for 5 years yet. So the capital gains are going to be, kind of hefty if he sells it outright. So I've got that. And then I've got the sandwich lease option. Now, what I tell them on the sandwich lease option, if they are not already like a tired landlord and they've never had a rental property or anything, I tell them, listen, you're going to become an instant real estate investor. You're going to have a real estate investment property. But the good thing about this is you won't, have you ever thought about being a landlord? Do you ever see landlords like, there may be the stereotypical landlord that's riding around in a work truck, got 3 or 4 houses, but he's always got his tool belt on with the plunger on the belt hanging off, because he's got to go fix leaky faucets and plunge clogged toilets. Have you ever seen that? Well, yeah. All right, good, because that is not what we are. That's not what we do. And you won't be like that when you become an instant investor if you choose this option, which is called a lease option. I didn't say the sandwich lease, and you don't get into industry jargon and stuff. So I tell him, I'm going to give him $100 over his monthly mortgage payment. So he'll have enough to make his mortgage payment, and then he'll get $100 more. And then on the lease option fee, he's going to get, I don't know what it was. I think it was like $3,000 or something like that. Boom. Your mortgage is getting paid. You got money to move, and you're getting $100 a month. Now that may not seem like much, but when you get another mortgage or get another house, whatever it is, knock $100 off the top, because that 100 that you're getting here a month. And what'll happen? I told him, and it's in the paperwork, because we never say contract, guys. We don't have contracts when we're talking to our prospects. It's just paperwork, guys. It's just paperwork, okay? And we don't sign anything. All right. There's ways to say these things. So I won't be the tenant of this place, though. I'm not going to be the tenant. You're going to lease option it to me. And then what I'm going to do is I'm assigning it to a tenant, right? So you won't have to worry about anything. I'll find the tenant will deal with me. You're just going to get your money each month. Your phone will just ding with that deposit. That's it. You won't have to come fix leaky faucets or anything like that, because they're responsible for the repairs. They're responsible for the maintenance. We'll set the option out for 3 years. That way, when the market changes, we'll be able to just give you a big old chunk of money. Because right now it's just not worth it for us to give you that price, but we can give you that price 3 years from now. But in the meantime, you're going to be making money and your principal is going to get paid down. So would you turn down $150,000 3 years from now for $100,000 today? I'll ask that again. I mean, does it make sense to you to turn down $150,000 in 3 years, or for $100,000 today? And you're going to get a chunk of that 150,000 and some over time up until that 3 years. So, that's just a question that I'll ask you and see how you answer it, see how you feel you should answer it. This is how I'm talking to the prospect too, guys. Now, in negotiation, we have established a rapport so we can talk honestly with them, guys. We're not some salesmen that just come on through there and are saying our, slick stuff and fast talking and all of that stuff. No, we don't do. No, we're good at this. We are good at this, and we care about, our prospects and our families, But I always come out and be honest, too, and it's kind of almost comes off as a self-deprecating humor. But it's honesty too. So it makes them feel like, okay, this guy has been honest with me up front. So it prepares me, right? So now it opens them up. It opens them up so that they're not on guard while you're talking to them, because they know that you're going to come in with some lowball offer, right? And when you say, you come in with this lowball offer, and you're like, well, it's pretty good for you and this and that, it's almost like it's a lie, because they're not getting what they want. So when you're honest with them off from the beginning, and you say something like, you're probably gonna think I'm a cheapskate by the end of this thing, but I just hope that you still like me as a person. It makes them laugh, but there's a hint of honesty in there, right? Because we're real estate investors, so we've got to get it for under market value so that we can make some money. But by you saying that, it is self-deprecating humor, which has been proven psychologically for split second influencing. You are being honest initially, so it lowers that guard. So now they're comfortable the whole time that they're talking to you. Guys, I am giving you some game right now. Give me some game. So that's how we do it. So anyway, he looks at it, and I explain, I got the lease option on paper as well. So there's a visual, and he looks at it and he's more interested in the subject too. And I'm like, yes, this is what I'm saying in my mind, because I'm at his kitchen table, and he's like, yes, and guys, we don't have him sign everything there. I only brought the few documents that we have them sign. And then they sign the rest of them at closing with the title company. So he's more interested in that. So I'm explaining it to him, and I only offered him like $5,000 or something for his equity. And with what he owed on his mortgage, because we had called his mortgage company while I was there. This is how I got him primered for subject 2, that he even called his mortgage company to see what kind of mortgage it was, what the interest rate was, how much he owed, what the payout was, all of that stuff, guys. All of that stuff. What if it was a PITI, principal, insurance, taxes, and interest all in one payment? We found out all that because he called him, so that was good. So anyway, he's more interested in subject 2, but I only offered him $5,000. I offered him $5,000, and then, I'm paying his mortgage payment. That's it. It's over with. The house is mine. We're going to pay it off, whatever. So I'm explaining it to him, and we're hemming and hawing. I've been over there for like an hour and a half. Guys, this house is, worth $140,000 though. And I don't plan on spending any money on it, so I don't care if I'm over there for 4 hours, as long as, you don't kick me out, grab me by the britches and throw me out type of situation. It's still cool. It's still comfortable. It's not awkward or anything like that. So he says so, and he's talking about he needs another house, needs somewhere else to go. And I'm being honest with him, like, man, you're not going to qualify for a mortgage, a traditional mortgage, even if you do sell this house outright, you'll have to get another mortgage. I had messaged a banker that I know, a manager, and asked that person that because they were going to become a mortgage originator. They were getting a raise, a promotion, and going to become a mortgage originator. And we're good friends because I treat people well. So I messaged her while I was there and asked her gave her the circumstances, his circumstances, not who he was, if they'd be able to get a mortgage. And she said, probably not, because you got to have a job for 2 years straight. And, all that crap, man, that we don't do because we become the bank. So, he's like, well, man, if I can't get a mortgage, and he still believes that he can, though. He's like, but I think I can. And I'm like, well, if you think you can, go for it. I don't want to hold you back. I mean, you know more than I do about your own situation. So I can't, tell you that you can. I'm just telling you based off the, what's going on and me knowing this industry. So he's like, but if I can't get a mortgage, I don't have a place. I want to buy another home because my family's growing. So he's like, I would need 15,000. I'd need 15,000. And then I do the subject too. And I'm like, oh, I don't know about that because fear took over for me. Fear took over, man. And I know better because fear's made up. And I'm like, man, I don't have 15,000. There's no way, So I'm like, man, no, I can't do that. We can give you, maybe 5,000. I don't know. I'll have to speak to my committee. And he's like, well, if you can, give me 15,000, I'll do it. So I tell him I've got to speak to my committee about it, this, that. And I said, you know what? Because that fear started to subside. I said, you know what? I will make an executive decision here and we'll give you 12 grand. We'll give you $12,000 cash. You have till next Friday to decide if you're going to go with it, if you're going to take this offer. You got to put an expiration date on it to make a sense of urgency there, give him time to think, especially if he's not in really a duress situation where he has to sell the house because he's going into foreclosure or something like that, so somebody's got till next Friday, and then I leave. Now that was a Friday that I was over there, and I go home and I tell my fiance what happened, and I'm like, man, I know that I could get that 15,000 because I can just do a double closing. I can do a sandwich lease because at this time I didn't have my end buyer set up, but I know that a lot of people, because most people can't qualify for a traditional mortgage, and banks aren't doing FHA loans anymore, most of them, because some things going on the secondary market. FHA isn't buying mortgages on the secondary market. So now banks aren't doing FHA mortgages. So most people aren't going to qualify for a conventional loan mortgage. They're just not, man, because the qualifications are too tough. So I know that people want to buy this house, and I know that's there's a good population of people that have chunks of money that can pay that down payment, that lease option fee. So I call him, I text him, and I say, hey, I'm gonna talk to you on Monday because I'm gonna have some news for you. Because I was going up to talk to a friend, we were going to hit some golf balls, and I talked to him and told him what was going on. And I was like, I know I can do it, this, that. So I actually had texted him on Sunday. I'm sorry, when I was talking to my friend, and I told him, hey, I'm gonna call you tomorrow. I'm gonna have some news for you. And I called him and told him, hey, we'll give you the 15 grand. We'll close on this date. And I gave myself a certain amount of time out so that I could find a buyer to pay for it, so that I didn't have to spend any money, so that I didn't have to go to the bank and get credit, and try to get credit, qualify for a loan. And then if I would have qualified for a loan, I would have been an employee of the bank pretty much. And then I would have had to hire a contractor to fix it up. Guys, we don't do repairs. We don't do fix and flips because we're not going to put our own money into it. We don't have to, because when we sell it on a lease option or like a for sale by owner, to boil it down, boil the terms down, or, you do contract for deed, installment land contract. There's a ton of lease option. You can do a wrap mortgage. You can do terms. There's a lot of things you can do. And I will make those tutorial videos for you guys when you become a member of the Go-Getter family, our subscription program for membership to the family, man, to the fam. Look at it. Look at it. I got the decal up. You know what I mean? Then there's other perks too. Our We Buy Houses and Help people, man. WeBuyAndHelp.com. That website, and Go-Getter family members can get access to our website to use it on their marketing materials, just like it's their own. So when they have prospects and they hand them a card, that prospect 3 days later, a month later, gets on our website. That's your website as a Go-Getter family member. And when they fill out the submission form, we shoot you their information. Here, this prospect came and hey, they want to sell you their house. Boom. So anyway, I call them back, tell them, give them the 15 grand. It's a go. it's a go. And I'm like, yes, I got my first subject too, but I don't have the document signed yet though. So yeah, you got to get them docs signed and notarized. You got to get them notarized. So I go over there and I get my information release form signed. I get my purchase agreement signed, and then I do my memorandum of contract, which is deal insurance. So that way, because he was doing for sale by owner. So if somebody would have came after we signed our purchase agreement and offered him more money, he can just not show up to closing, stop answering my calls and texts. But with that deal insurance, man, you get that signed, notarized, boom, then you got to do just a couple other steps. If they stop answering your calls, they get a better offer, and they go with that offer. Once they go with that offer and they're at closing and they do a title search to see if that title is clouded, if they want to get a marketable title as part of the contract, they got to pay you. They got to pay a fee for backing out on their word, not keeping their word. Man, we are people of integrity, so we keep our word. So anyhow, yeah, so I had them sign those 3 documents, and in the purchase agreement though, I'm trying to see. In the purchase agreement, I bought it with a trust, guys. You got to buy with a trust, okay, to avoid the loan being called due, okay, that the notorious due on sale clause. All right, you've got to buy with a trust. All right, when you buy with a trust, the loan can't be called due because that's estate planning. And then if you go about it in certain strategic ways, man, you can avoid a due on sale clause being called so tough, or loan being called due so tough, man. So I bought it with a trust. There's certain ways, certain things that you do with that. We got our trust document packet for you guys too. I'm going to get that up on the site for you guys soon. But as of right now, the subject to doc package is up there, and the lease option doc packet. What I'm talking about right now, they got me started in this game. It is up there, and it's super cheap, man. It's like 140 something bucks or something for each packet. Phew. There's like 5 or 6 contracts in the subject to. Then you got your standard purchase agreement, your tenancy agreement, your standard tenant, and then you've got the lease assignment in the lease option package. So you can sandwich lease it because you're going to assign it. So I buy it in the trust. Boom. So now I've given myself a certain amount of time to market the home, right? Because I don't have the money, man. I don't have the money. I'm out here. I'm a go-getter. So I'm out here getting after it, man, hitting the pavement. And I know that by the effort, energy, commitment, sacrifices that I put in, that I'm going to get the money. The money will come. I'm not tripping about it. The money's going to come straight up. It just will. But you got to be right, and you got to be doing right. You know what I mean? So now I got 30 days to market this thing. So now I'm marketing it, and it's a beautiful home. It's in God's country. You know what I mean? So somebody calls me. They've got $20,000 down. They want to buy it on lease option. I'm like, yes, woo, I did it, but you got to make sure that that they got the money and all that stuff. So I set a date with them, and I met with them, and got to show the house and all that good stuff. But while I'm talking with them, I'm also negotiating, but conversationally negotiating. Okay, it's conversational negotiation, guys. Oh, it's beautiful. So I'm dropping little hints, little subtle hints, planting seeds, and then to make sure that they've got the money, that they've got the means to pay. What I did was the mortgage payment was $810 a month. I charged $1,050 for the lease option. So it pays my mortgage with the taxes and insurance. Okay. Then I clear $240 a month. Passive income, guys. That's almost my car payment. You know what I mean? So for free, Then they had 20 grand, so I paid him out 15,000. I paid the closing costs, so I made a little over 3,000. I get the 240 a month. But what I did was I set up the lease option before the closing, so I got the money before the closing. So that way I didn't have to do a double closing and maybe look crazy if I didn't have transactional funding and stuff like that. Some title companies look at you crazy if you try to do a double close and you're using the end buyer's funds for the transaction. I don't know why they look down on it, because everybody's just out here trying to get to it. There's nothing immoral or unethical about that. They just do. So anyway, I got the money from them, and boom, the rest is history, guys. I went to closing. I brought the money to the escrow, to the title company, so they could put it in escrow and get everything paid out by closing. So go to closing, sign all the documents. They sign the rest of the documents at closing. where they're just being read, to them by the title company. There's the due on sale acknowledgement, the limited power of attorney. And why discuss the limited power of attorney with them? Because you don't just surprise people with that. But so there's due on sale, limited power of attorney, seller acknowledgement. And yeah, that was it. That's it. Along with the, you got a warranty deed and stuff like that in there. So they read them to him at the title company. So it's just a monotonous tone. And, people just like, okay. It's not as much as like a mortgage and stuff when you buy a house traditionally, but it's still, just boring contract talk. So, well, that's how I closed on it. And then a couple of days later, the people that I lease optioned it to, they moved in. Been in ever since. They're responsible for repairs. They're responsible for maintenance, guys. We don't do any of that. Okay. So we're not landlords. I didn't do any repairs. I didn't do any maintenance to the thing. I didn't lift a hammer. I didn't screw in not one screw. I didn't pay anybody to lift a hammer. I didn't pay anybody to screw in not one screw. I didn't. But this is all off of grit, determination, innovation, creativity, and ambition. Go-getters. You guys are the go-getter family. So I'm going to teach you guys that because you've already got it in your nature. You know what I mean? Like, it's just inside of you. I'm sure I was talking to somebody the other day and I asked her if she had given up on her dream for financial freedom. And I thought she was going to say no. And she said yes, that she did a couple of times because she paid, a lot of money for a real estate class that didn't give her anything but superficial information, man, which really sucks. You know what I mean? That isn't cool at all. Man, I just don't see how people do that. So anyway, but she said, but she couldn't let it go. It was just something inside of her that just, and I think that everybody has that. Like, everybody wants financial freedom. Everybody. Why wouldn't you, right? Because financial freedom is going to then in turn give you freedom. Time with your family. You can travel. You just take days off, when you want to. As an entrepreneur, man, I don't take days off. This is Sunday. I'm working on a Sunday, man. I've been working, but I love it. But because I'm working for myself. But she said it was something inside of her, that just kept calling her. And I was like, well, you know what? That thing inside of you, that's what got you here today, talking to me. Because we were doing a Zoom call, because I do a initial free consultation. And that's what made me come up with the subscription for you guys, because this person, they didn't have a lot of money, man, single mother. So I'm going to email her about that subscription too, because when I said, what the whole program was worth, you get the foreclosure acquisition, blueprint, and access to our website. But it's like, man, it was $2,500, and she just didn't have $2,500, and I don't blame her for that. I didn't feel bad, but that made me think, like, no, you know what? My time is worth some money, the effort that I put in. So I'm just going to do this little subscription where it's just a little amount. I'm probably making like $39.99 a month, and you get tutorial videos. You're going to get step-by-step process on how to fill out these documents, but also what to say to these people and when to say it, because these people, man, you're gonna have to educate a lot of people. They'll try to question you on things like you don't know what you're doing, like you're not supposed to be doing this, like it's unethical, and it's none of that, guys. So I'm gonna put these out for you because I went in to file a memorandum of contract on a deal, and the lady at the recorder's office didn't even know what a memorandum of contract was. I mean, you file documents all day. That's your job. I mean, it just blew my mind, and it doesn't matter anyway, because you are a civil servant. So you are supposed to file the documents that I asked you to file, because I'm paying you, first off, with my taxes. Second, I'm paying for this service on top of that. So she's like, oh, no, you can't. There's already a contract buyer on this house. And I was like, yeah, I know that this isn't what this is for. But here's the purchase agreement, though, for the new buyer, because I'm buying it. I'm not buying it on contract or anything like that. So here's the purchase agreement. And then here is the limited power of attorney. And here's a memorandum of contract. So I had to tell her what a memorandum of contract was. She went and got her supervisor. She went and got her supervisor, guys. And guess what they did when the supervisor came? They filed my memorandum of contract. They filed it because they have to, first off. And I knew the right things to say, because I knew what I was talking about. So, so you just run into things like that, and it can be discouraging if you don't know what to say, how to react to it. So you guys, you need to know these things, and you're not going to find them out just on people's YouTube channels when they talk about superficial entry level knowledge about this stuff. All right, guys. And I know a lot of the Go-Getter family, man. I've got a family that I got to take care of. I've got bills. I've got car payments. I got to feed them. So I didn't have $2,500. I didn't. I just didn't, man. Not to put into a training and learn like hope, like, okay, you know, that I get this and that it's good and that these people aren't going to rip me off this time. So I'm going to get the subscription set up for you guys. But guys, the Go-Getters, I gave you everything right here of how I did my first one, how I got my first one. Okay. I gave you all of that, from how I found it to, you know, going to talk to them, some of the things I said to them, the offers that I make and how you lay out that offer. Let's see how we buy it in a trust. Okay. And then our disposition, our exit strategy, guys. And there's a free document, guys, there's going to be a free document in the description. Okay. Just click on that link. All right. I just want you guys just click on that link and, that document will come up. Okay. And that, you know, I'm going to ask that question again. When are you going to start your journey to financial freedom? When, guys? When's the right time? You know, have you given up on your dream? Is that what it is? You gave up on the dream that you could finally get financial freedom? Do you feel like you don't deserve financial freedom? You know what I mean? Like, I think we all do, you know? So, but after, you know, it's called your dream, you know, for a reason, because people wake up and they think, man, I got to have money to make money, you know, and I don't have money and I don't have access to money, or I don't have good credit. And that, guys, that's just not true. You don't have to have those things. You don't have to have good credit. You don't have to have a big old chunk of money. And you don't have to have access to money. All right. Well, the things that you got to have are hustle, determination, commitment, a good work ethic. Right. And then you got to have some things in your mind as well. Like, there's a lot of things that you need, but to get started, you got to be able to overcome your fears, overcome and embrace obstacles. And I don't even like to say overcome, embrace them, because these obstacles are going to teach you something, you know. But then, guys, too, you don't want to be, now that you're an entrepreneur, like an employee of your business. Now you're chained to the business. If you get sick or if you go on vacation, things might fall apart. No, you got to set up systems. You got to set up systems that are going to run your business for you, right? So when you're in the beginning stages, you're building these systems, you're creating these systems, okay? But you're learning by trial and error and you're documenting them. So that way you've got a manual. So you can't say, you know, man, this person didn't do their job right, you know? Well, what was their job? You know, did you give them a description? Did you give them directions and instructions on how to do that? You know, because they do at McDonald's and stuff like that. So, you know, we've got to take responsibility, man. The onus falls on us, on our shoulders. It's our responsibility. So there's things that we must do, you know, as entrepreneurs to be successful. And I'm going to give you guys those nuggets, because I've got systems, man, in place and that are being implemented that, guys, this is going to be a movement. The Go-Getter family is a movement. You know what I mean? We're getting some of this wealth back. We're getting some of this influence back, guys. So I got to get up out of here, but man, we're going to get it back. This is a movement. Subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, you know, to get me into the algorithm so more people can hear this stuff. Also, there's that free document in the link, you know, go to the Go-Getter website. There's some goodies on there. But when you become a member of the Go-Getter family, you know, with our membership program, you're going to get the game. All of it, and it's going to be relatively cheap. I'm going to set it relatively cheap, guys. I haven't got it set up yet, but I'll have it for you. So I got to get up out of here, guys. But until next time, let's get to it.